What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So over the course of the past year or so on this channel, I've been going over what I think are the worst Pokemon in each evolutionary stage, such as first stage, middle evolution, and final evolution. These videos have garnered some interesting reactions from you guys, and we've got one more category of Pokemon to cover in this miniseries: Standalone Pokemon. As you know, there are several Pokemon within each generation that just don't evolve. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but just as with all of these other categories of Pokemon, there are some that are just downright bad. A lot of the ones on this list in particular are super forgettable and just don't add anything to the games at all, so without further ado, let's check them out. Kicking off the list at number 5 are Volbeat and Illumise. Now honestly, the only reason these two are number 5 and not higher on this list is because they have the whole counterpart thing going on, but otherwise they are so stinking forgettable. They don't have good stats, and they're only ever really available mid-game, which makes them unusable because at that point there are already so many other better Pokemon available. Now granted, I think part of the reason why these Pokemon are so forgettable is because they don't evolve, but even amongst the other standalone Pokemon, they still stand out as especially bad, and that's why they make my top 5. Coming up next on the list is Qwilfish, and Qwilfish for me is another Pokemon that is just so terribly forgettable and bad. Even when putting together the list for this video, I still forgot about Qwilfish even when specifically thinking of these types of Pokemon. On top of that, Johto is my personal favorite region, and this Pokemon still flies completely off the radar. It makes it even worse that it's not a great Pokemon to use, yet in many of the Pokemon games you are only able to find it by using a Super Rod, which you usually don't get until late in the game anyway, so there is a very good chance that you might not even see a Qwilfish while playing Gold and Silver, their remakes, or any other Pokemon game for that matter. Qwilfish just doesn't really bring anything to the table to make it worthwhile, and unfortunately for it, it makes it one of the worst standalone Pokemon, and even one of the worst Pokemon out there, period. Now here's a Pokemon that everyone loves to hate: Luvdisc. Now I personally don't have anything against Luvdisc, but if there ever was a poster child for a bad standalone Pokemon, this would be it. Many people's arguments against Luvdisc is that it just doesn't do anything. It's literally just a heart with a face, and while the philosophy of Pokemon designs is a completely different argument than what we're talking about here, it is kind of obvious that Luvdisc's design is a little too simple. Adding on to that, its stats overall are really bad, just like the rest of the Pokemon on this list, and also just like the rest of the Pokemon on this list, it just doesn't add anything to the experience of playing a Pokemon game. Luvdisc also got shot in the gut pretty good in Gen 5 when Alomomola was introduced, who is literally an evolution of Luvdisc, except that it isn't. At all. This was kind of the final nail in the coffin that showed that Game Freak wasn't really all that interested in making Luvdisc relevant, and so it will most likely sit in obscurity till the end of time. You know, for being a Pokemon all about love, it really didn't receive too much of it itself. At the runner-up spot is a Pokemon who would also easily make a forgettable Pokemon list, and that's Maractus. Literally, the only reason this Pokemon would be remembered by anyone is because it's that one Pokemon who probably should have had some sort of relation to Cacnea and Cacturne, but didn't. It's fine that they wanted to do another cactus Pokemon, but to make it look like it should be related to Cacnea, but then have it not be, is weird. It's basically Luvdisc and Alomomola all over again. Its stats aren't terrible, but they're certainly not the greatest either, and once again, just like the other Pokemon on this list, Maractus does nothing whatsoever to add to the experience of the games or even make you want to catch it at all. It really doesn't have anything going for it, but in my opinion, it's not quite as bad as this next Pokemon. And my personal number 1 worst standalone Pokemon is Stunfisk. Freaking Stunfisk. I'm honestly not sure where to start, so I guess I'll just start my ramble and see where it goes from there. Stunfisk is the mother of all derpy Pokemon, and that's even considering that it's supposed to have a level of derpiness to it. I've mentioned before that not all Pokemon have to be super cool or awesome, and that goofiness and whatnot is okay, but Stunfisk just takes it to astronomical levels. I think the worst thing about Stunfisk though is that it's a fish, yet not a water type, instead being ground electric. Now, I understand that it's based on fish that either lay low to the sea floor or have some sort of electricity-bearing quality to them, but the one common thing between all of those fish is that they are fish. You know, animals that are required to live underwater or they will otherwise die. Now, don't quote me on this because I couldn't find the source when putting together this video, but I remember hearing from a reliable source somewhere that the reason why Stunfisk isn't a water type is to balance out the type distribution in the Univin Pokedex. Now, if this is indeed the case, it just makes Stunfisk even worse because it means they basically went ahead and changed its typing without really accounting for its design, which normally would be dependent on the water type. All in all, Stunfisk just looks like it was a big ol' mistake right from the very beginning, and that's why it's my worst standalone Pokemon. And there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 worst standalone Pokemon. I think this about wraps up this little mini-series, and I gotta say, it was fun to do even with some of the strong reactions every now and then. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, and remember that this is just my own opinion, so if you have a different opinion, make sure to leave it in the comments below. Finally, make sure you subscribe if you're new for more Pokemon content just like this, and also be sure to check out my album that is coming out to iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify November 3rd. It's got all of my greatest remixes from the past year, plus one that you guys haven't even heard yet, so all the support you guys can give me on that would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, I will be back with another video soon, and until the next one, as always, I will smell you guys later.